I'd like to, first of all, Excellency, thank the Republic, the Government of the Republic of Korea for this wonderful donation. These vehicles have been donated to us by way of a grant in a very expeditious manner. I remember just only a few months ago when we had put in the initial request, as was indicated by your government, and today we have the vehicles here. In fact, these vehicles arrived quite a few weeks ago. We're just waiting for the holiday season to be over so we could have access to these vehicles. We'd like to tell you that these vehicles will be put to very good use in terms of holding what we believe will be the first, most transparent, free and credible elections in Fiji's history, given the fact also that it will be coupled with the fact that we'll be conducting elections under an electoral system that does recognize for the first and only time, and of course henceforth, a common and equal citizenry where one vote will have one value and it will be equal to everybody else's vote. So thank you very much again for this wonderful donation. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd also like to take this opportunity this afternoon to make a couple of other announcements pertaining to the Elections Office. I'd like to first of all highlight the fact that His Excellency the President this afternoon has appointed the Electoral Commissioners, and I'd like to announce the names of the Electoral Commissioners. The Chair of the Electoral Commission will be Mr. Chen Bunn Young, the former President of the Fiji Law Society and a leading legal practitioner in Fiji. The number two, not necessarily in order of importance, but the second commissioner is Professor Vijay Naidu of USP. As you know, he's a well-known academic, board member, I understand still is, of CCF, and is set on various other committees and boards. The third commissioner is Father David Arms, as most of you are aware of him. He's an electoral expert and has worked in Fiji for a number of years now, originally from New Zealand. He works with the Catholic Church and has been a consultant to the People's Sada for Peace, Change and Progress. The fourth member of the commission will be Ms. Alisi Daurewa. As you know, is a civil society NGO representative and is also an academic, has written several articles on leadership, governance, etc., and sits on the Provincial Council of Kondavu. The fifth commissioner is Mr. Larry Thomas, who is also an academic but more known for his playwright skills and filmmaking, and has been very much involved with the media in Fiji. The sixth member of the commission is Mr. James Sowane, who is from the private sector, is the youngest member of the commission, and he's also got a lot of experience in marketing also, and is a very good member of the private sector. And the last but not least is Ms. Jenny Seeto, who is a leading accountant and financial advisor, and no doubt her skill sets will be required by the commission when we are going to have a commission that will be handling close to estimated $43 to $45 million of some taxpayers' money and hopefully lots of donations and grants from other jurisdictions. So these are the 7 members of the commission that have been appointed by His Excellency our President, and they will of course get to work very, very quickly. The third announcement I'd like to make, before I complete that, all of these people have of course been appointed for the various and respective skill sets they'll bring to the commission. They are all apolitical individuals and have integrity and credibility, which is what the Fijian Elections Office is supposed to be now have as a characteristic or key characteristic. The third announcement I'd like to make and take this opportunity is in fact linked to the wonderful work that has been carried out by the various experts and consultants who have been facilitated or have been provided in particular by Australia and New Zealand and the EU. Some of them are here. Jane is here, Jerome is here, and Sorry? Ross is here, sorry, I'm getting confused. Of course, others are Shane and Laurie, who have been contributing. These people have been working, in fact, quite tirelessly over the past few weeks, and we are starting from the scratch. Perhaps unbeknownst to certain personalities in Fiji, they have been burning the candle at both ends. We have now a new structure within the elections office that has been approved, that is being implemented, and as a result of which you will see at least 32 posts being advertised in the Fiji Sun this coming Saturday, which actually means 230 positions. So there are 32 posts, but 230 positions. That's what's being advertised. And of course, subsequently, there'll be other positions that will be advertised. We expect the next batch to have 160 people. And of course, for the polling day staff, we expect to recruit 14,000 people for the actual polling day itself. There has been a series of work plans that have been put in place, including logistics, right down to the nitty-gritty detail. In fact, there is some documentation that was provided to us just yesterday that we are currently studying. We are most grateful for the expertise and the assistance that has been provided by these consultants. We value their work very much. They bring to us a whole set of skill sets and knowledge base that does not exist in Fiji, and we value that very, very much. And we look forward to furthering their work. Of course, now with the commission being in place, we've already had discussions with the chair of the commission where we've discussed these details. We hope to have a briefing session with the commission early next week in respect of all the work that's been carried out. The chair is fully aware of these positions being advertised and the other commissioners this Saturday. And we believe that the structures that have been put in place now and that we hope for them to all materialize with those positions being filled will in fact set a new trend and a new structure for the Fijian Elections Office, not just for the elections that is to be held by 30th September 2014, but for the future of Fiji. As I've said repeatedly, the problem with the Elections Office in Fiji has been previously that it's only geared up for the elections every 5 years. As you know now, that under the new constitution, elections can be held even every 3.5 years, anywhere between 3.5 years to 4 years. The second thing is that we cannot afford to have the elections office raped and pillaged after every elections. The equipment should not disappear, these vehicles should not disappear, the computers should not disappear, the staff should not disappear. The core staff need to remain in the elections office. We need to build capacities, we need to build various career paths in the elections office and get true Fijian experts, which we are currently lacking. That's what we need to do. We also need to engender a culture of democratization, because democracy is not only restricted to national elections. Democracy must exist in political parties, it must exist in trade unions, it must exist in parent and teacher associations, in our rugby organizations, in our soccer organizations, in various other organizations that we have throughout Fiji. Because we get complaints about various meetings being held or people being elected, even at parent-teacher level or school committee level. And the elections office can play a very pivotal role in that, being an independent body to come and conduct elections even at that level. So that is the vision of the elections office. And as I've said earlier on, what will happen with this new structure is that we will be creating new career paths, and we hope that in the future, in the near future, the Constitutional Officers Commission, in consultation with the Electoral Commission, will appoint the new supervisor of elections. Once that is done, then all the appointments would have taken place, of course, including the 14,000. There is a very concerted effort being put into, and thought processes being put into the training of the personnel, not just the 14,000, but the others in building capacities. So, Mr. Ambassador, I think your giving of the vehicle today has been very, very auspicious. It's triggered off a whole set of milestones for the Elections Office, and we'd like to once again thank you for the donation. And of course, I'd be willing to take any questions, but perhaps after the Ambassador has his afternoon tea. Vinaka, I wish you all a very good afternoon. Thank you.
It gives me a great pleasure to witness the handover of vehicles donated by the Korea International Cooperation Agency to the Fiji Election Office today. I wish to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the Fijian government for their kind assistance and support in accepting these vehicles. Since the establishment of diplomatic ties between Korea and Fiji in 1971, our two countries have enjoyed cooperative relations for the last 43 years. The vehicles I am handing over today are modest donation, which is a gesture of our government to continue to build up friendly and constructive engagement with Fiji.